Hello everyone. I also have to talk about art. I'll make it short and let's see how it goes. So, not everyone creates art, but everyone is a creator. We all create ourselves, our lives, and even the people around us. Living is an act of creation. But if we assume that creation is something beyond art, how do we make art separate from other areas of life? Is it just a striving for beautiful expression? Beauty meaning sensual pleasure or harmony? That's not the full picture. For me, the human capacity to sense beauty represents our ability to assign intrinsic value to our experiences. By thinking of the moments we live through in aesthetical terms, we make a life made out of them worth living no matter what, because we assign them value in our mind because we want to do that. And art reflects the importance of beauty in human existence. But beauty in art is but an aspect of its larger nature, which is a striving to constantly create and give value to our lives. And this, in turn, is an aspect of an even much larger need, which is the need to be in control of our lives. I think we can all agree that we would like to control who we are, who we want to become, and what decisions we'll make in order to achieve that. Well, one time when we all lost some of that control was during the pandemic. Now, I'm a poet, but I think that what I want to share is generalizable to all of art. And the conclusions that can be drawn from my experience cannot be even valuable to non-artists. Because creative writing let me flourish during the pandemic. It prevented me from being overtaken by the horrible feeling of the complete lack of worth in what I was doing. As work in online school started becoming seemingly more meaningless, as the things that made my life a happy one became out of reach, art became my tool for resisting those feelings, because it provided me with the possibility to assign value to life no matter what. So even though high school was spent for me, a large part of it was spent in self-isolation, I used art to stay in control of myself and to develop personally in a period of my life when it was crucial for me to do so. There's a psychological side to what I have achieved. Artistic creation induces the state of flow. A flow is a state of full involvement in what we are doing, when the perfect balance between our current abilities and the challenge a given activity poses is met. According to flow theory, this feeling is one of the primary sources of happiness in our lives. And it can be felt essentially during any activity that strikes the balance that I have mentioned. And for me, creative writing inducing the state of flow was both a refuge, but also a device for creating myself during the pandemic. Because when you create, we see our thoughts and feelings externalized shortly in front of us, and this distance that we gain from ourselves lets us also become part of that creation. I have always thought that the primary value of art is determined by the artists themselves, by how much of themselves they have put into their art, how much it meant for them. Can this also be said about life? What I have discovered is that the primary value of art is, again, to the artist, because art mimics the process of our self-creation, the process of how we create our lives. And we really need to remember about that origin of art to understand why it is created and to how value can be drawn from it. But let's also remember about the value of a connection with other people in establishing happiness and value in our lives. I think that this became especially apparent during the pandemic. And this fact manifested itself to me again through art. This was when I cooperated with my school friends in creating a collection of my poems illustrated by them. Art lets us create meaningful relationships. It's centered around things which we hold as valuable, as beautiful. It removes borders between people, even those set by self-isolation. So, to conclude this talk, I would like to refer to a quote by Nietzsche. Our highest dignity lies in our significance as works of art, for only as an aesthetic phenomenon is existence and the world eternally justified. What does this mean? Simply that we justify our lives ourselves. Art lets us communicate with the beauty of life, become the creators, the shapers of it. This is why I like to say, not veritas, but venustas vos liberabit. Because not even truth, but beauty will set us free. Because the truth is, we decide what is truly valuable in the lives that we live. Thank you.